This episode of Black Lightning is all about Tobias, really, and making him a realistic character. But it's also about the question, who can you trust, and who do you work with?
Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing
Episode 5 of Black Lightning, and then the devil brought the plague. Man, these episode titles are on point. They need to get these people over to Gifted and have them write their episode titles, because those sucked. Alright, so this is a superhero show, and there's some really great superheroics, including what I'm going to call a Superman scene right at the beginning, and just brilliant writing. But right now, I'm in the middle of doing something special, so I want to take a minute to talk about that. I've got a video up that I'm going to link at the end of this. It's a special one where I'm doing a giveaway of an Amazon gift card because I've got 100 subscribers, 101 as of the recording of this. And I'm really happy about that because I want to build this community as much as I can. And in order to be in that drawing to get that card, you need to be a subscriber and leave the right comments. So, subscribe now, and let's get to talking about Black Lightning. Alright, so last week I said that I wondered why Gambi was hiding information. And of course, there was a little more revealed this time. But I also made a point of saying I didn't like the anti-drug message that was kind of weird in the way they did it because it wasn't as realistic as others. Well, my good friend Jovan Jeff here, who's been commenting for a while, told me that he didn't quite see it the same way I did. So I'm leaving his comments up here. But he was surprised I didn't cover Lady Eve and what she did to the body, and there's one very particular reason. Because I have no idea what was going on in that scene. I mean, there's a lot to unpack with what's going on, but Lady Eve herself is such a big question mark. In the comics, she's like an agent of Cobra, and not really specifically a Black Lightning villain as much as an Outsiders villain. And she doesn't have powers or do anything super weird like necromancy or anything. But that was... I don't even know what to make of it. But alright, now let's switch gears to tonight's episode.
So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time.
So like I said, Black Lightning begins with a Superman moment. Two Superman moments. One, now he can fly. And two, he stops a kid from getting shot by the police. But then he takes down the kid because he's on drugs. And here's why I call it a Superman moment. Because this is what Superman, or most superheroes, should be. He got in the way of the cop, he saved the kid's life, he took the kid down without killing him. Then he told the cops next time use tasers. Because at the end of the day, that's what a hero should do, save lives. And it doesn't matter whether the cops would have been right or wrong to shoot. What matters is, Black Lightning has a better way. However, he's also in pain and suffering from some weird mood swings. At the end of the day, all of this is putting him at risk, and we do find out at the end of the episode it's partially the suit's fault. The explanation we're given is that the suit's capacitor was wrong, something in the control module, I don't know, insert technobabble here. But it's pretty cool, because something else we find out is a possible origin of the mutations in the universe, and the fact that right now, Black Lightning's daughter is trying to find out what that is. So Anissa is fully taking on the superhero role. We have a great suiting up scene, although I personally find it hysterical that she ended up going to basically a sex shop for it. But, I mean, realistically, other than having a tailor that specifically makes super suits, where would you get that much latex? Much better than a black hoodie, and pretty cool compared to the comic, although, let's be honest, we're all waiting to see the outfit that was debuted on the commercial. But I'm guessing that Gambini's going to be the one to make that. But let's switch gears and talk about Gambi for a minute. Because he gets a visit by Tobias. That's right, they're old friends. They've made a deal of some sort. Which was everyone's guess, really, about what happened when Black Lightning died. But alright, he's been giving Tobias some sort of formula. And he works for something called the ASA, I think it was. I couldn't find an actual equivalent in the DCU, the way they have the DEO or the Metahuman Task Force, or they have Cadmus, but they don't seem to be going with any of those. So, putting all together, we now know that there was some sort of experiment done on young black people through vaccines, and those gave meta powers, and a whole bunch of kids disappeared. And Pierce's father, the kid's grandfather, was investigating that. And when he got too close, they made him disappear. Intermixed with this is the detective, and Black Lightning pays him a little bit of a visit, outside of costume no less, and drops off a burner phone. And they actually appear to be capable of working together. Maybe they did once before, because he even says, "You've still got jokes," like Black Lightning and him have talked before. I do like the voice modulation thing, although without the costume and without the bright light, it was a little harder to justify he didn't see through that secret identity thing. But this comes to a reoccurring theme in this episode, because Jefferson trusts the detective, both as Black Lightning and as himself. But he also trusts Gamby, and evidently Gamby is double-dealing at least a little and hiding some stuff. So who can you really trust? And if Tobias ends up having to go against this ASA, do you have to trust him too? These three individuals are very odd and very tied together, and I'll tell you right now, Black Lightning's gonna have to figure out the truth about all three of them before we can get much farther. And that's before you even go into the family stuff. Coming full circle, the other daughter ends up getting into a fight at the roller rink, and all of a sudden breaks someone's wrist. And then that woman's mother comes and is all like, "Hey, I can't afford to have her wrist fixed. Hey, look, your kid's the one that did it." And at first I can understand where the parents are going, I don't know, you gotta get in trouble. But at the same time, can you really fault someone for defending themselves? And I love the fact that Jefferson himself was all like, "Wait, you took on two girls? Two girls?" I do think that fighting bullies is one of those gray areas where things need to be figured out, and I think that in this episode the parents came down on the wrong side by punishing her. But that's just a personal opinion. We also got a little more of the inner relationship with Lady Eva, who I've realized is actually this character from the same cover that of The Outsiders that was shown to us in an earlier episode. How's that for a big oopsie on continuity? And we find out more about Tobias in this episode too. Like I said, they humanize him a bit. His father was abusive, his mother ran out on him when he was young. He's probably the only person who ever was looking after his sister. He's one of those people that grew to be hard and tough because he had to be. And he really took a big loss. And the fact that he's subservient to Lady Eva, who I'm more and more thinking is responding to someone like Cobra, means you can understand where he's coming from. Especially with the fact that he drank some sort of who knows what type of concoction that makes him practically immortal and gives him super strength. But Black Lightning finds his right-hand man here and beats the crap out of him, at least at first. And again, it's one of those complex things. All three of these characters are hiding something. Who do you trust? How do you trust? And since that's one of the big pushes of the whole season, I mean, if you think about it, that's why we as a family don't hold back. Really? You might not be telling your kids something. Maybe something important. Something about, say, electricity, or or their grandfather. We also have gotten our second Easter egg for Batman. A little bit of an in-joke. When he gives the cop the phone, he says, "Consider it like black symbol." Instead of the bat signal, it's the black signal. And remember, we also had a Catwoman reference earlier, so those two are almost definitely comic book characters in this world. But we know there are other people with powers. I wonder who they are. And I wonder if part of this is taking the Bang Baby idea from Static. Either way, I'm still really enjoying this, and I'm curious to see where we go. But it's a couple weeks before our next episode. Episode 6 isn't until the 27th, I think they said? But that's about it. I'm enjoying it. Let me know what you think, especially what you think of that costume that Thunder created at the end of the episode. By the way, another great line. If you could be a superhero, can't be afraid of dead rats. And like I said before, I've got a contest running right now where I'm giving away some Amazon gift cards because I've hit 100 subscribers. Why don't you check out that video? I'm going to link it here at the end. And then I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything video. So put a question down below or on the other video to kind of get involved, find out a little more about me. And of course, thumbs up and share this video because I really could use the help. We're going for 1,000 subscribers next. So if you haven't yet, click the subscribe button and join our little community here. On one hand, you might win the gift card, and on the other hand, hey, you get to talk to me about superheroes. Up next, I'm expecting my next video is going to be a review of Black Panther. Hopefully it's as good as Black Lightning. For now, I hope that you have a good night, though, and I thank you for walking with me through the heart of the stories we tell.